Hey, Ercole, how you doing? Yeah, it's nice here, Shelly. Pretty good. Just got back. I was in out around about 70 miles west of Toledo. Thought I'd run Daisy around. Nice moon out tonight. It's not quite a full moon. Saw a couple planes see they're landing into the northeast. Yeah, it's beautiful here. No, this is down in New Boston, Michigan. It's a Metro Park system here in Metro Parks. This is Willow Park. I come here all the time. It's not far from where I'm staying, though. Hey, Debbie. Yeah, it'd be a good moon tomorrow. Looks pretty good tonight. Not quite full, but looks pretty good. Yeah, I see. Tomorrow's going to be. Today was nice. Tomorrow's going to be nice, and then Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be hot as hell, 78 and 80 or something like that. I wouldn't care if I never saw another 80-degree day. Look at that moon shining off the water, right there. Hey, BJ. Yeah, right. I'll tell you, this phone, they've really bragged this phone up on the video and the stills. I think the camera on the phone sucks when you're just doing video like this. The photos and video aren't bad if you're doing them, but not while you're on a chat. But when you do a thumbnail for a chat or something, the camera sucks. Everything looks washed out. I've tried every setting in the world. Yeah, I had a good day, yeah. I think I drove about 270 miles today. I'll tell you, want to see a beautiful town not too far from you, you could go visit in a day. Look at Grand Rapids, Ohio. Grand Rapids, Ohio. Yeah, see, there's a car over there. A lot of times people park and then they go take their bike and hit the trail. I don't really see. There's more and more people showing up here, though. I mean, for my whole life, it's like not that many people, but I don't know if it's got anything to do with COVID or not, but I see a lot more people around. How you doing, hon? Yeah, birds are. I got another good video right at Highway 109 in the Ohio Turnpike. And he let me really get close. Yeah, COVID's a big problem. Yeah, a lot of birds out. I'll tell you, Debbie and Dave, I don't know if you guys ever get down to Toledo, but it's really nice down there along the water. Sylvania's a nice town. But look at Defiance, Bryant, Napoleon, Grand Rapids. Those are all really nice towns. Even Wazian's a nice town. But look up Grand Rapids, Ohio. It's a beautiful town. It's like a miniature Traverse City for half the price. Yeah, sorry about that, Shelley. Yeah. For some reason, they have worse data now than they did when they locked down Michigan before. But nobody's wanting to pull the trigger. I think they realize it'll be an early exit on a re-election. Yeah. Debbie and Dave, too. I don't know if you ever get down there around Sterling Park, Erie Park. Sterling State Park, you'd really like. Really good views. Plus, you could get a couple time lapses of that steam coming out of those Fermi towers and that DTE plant to the south. Oh, you have a curfew, huh, Rana? What time is that, and how do they enforce it? I did not get the vaccine. I was going to get the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. I see they're going to okay that again. You know, it was only like 3 women out of 3 million that got blood clots. I probably will end up getting it. I probably would have skipped it, but this new European version, it's got like a 30% higher fatality rate. Hey, everything included. How you doing? So tomorrow, I think I might take it easy day. I just checked into my hotel. I was on the road for another week. I think I'm going to go home May 2nd. That'll be a full 2 months I was gone. Oh, did you, Shelley? Okay, good. People want to know why I stay gone for so long. Well, I'll tell you why. There's nothing to do at home. Literally. I mean, I like living there, and most of the time it's great. But for the kind of stuff I like to do, it doesn't make sense that I go home. For what? Now, I am going to redo my upstairs bedroom into an office, and I think I'm going to redo my basement. I'm not going to finish it because I don't like finished basements anyway. They're always damp, and it's never like the upper floor in a house. But I will do some improvements. And a few things like that. Oh, good for you, everything. Good for you. What'd you do? Hey, Melanie. Hey, Buttercup. Yeah, I'm lucky to be able to do it. That's for sure. It just, like I said, that I knock out on a low day 200 miles, on an average day 275. Different directions, but I pretty much covered all this area this time. If I didn't have a dog, I would probably not stay here all the time. But I don't need to worry about having Daisy at a Red Roof Inn, and it's kind of a good home base for me while I'm in this part. But if I didn't have a dog, I'd probably be down in Ohio somewhere tonight. Hey, Cindy. Yeah, moon is beautiful. Yeah, it's a nice night tonight. The farmland down around there, I'll tell you, look at Highway 2, Highway 20, and Highway 6. They run east-west, just south of the turnpike, the Michigan-Ohio border. I'll tell you, man, you're not going to find prettier countryside. And all the roads are paved down there. You're not going to find dirt roads like you do in Hillsdale, Albion, Ann Arbor, that kind of thing, in the rural areas. Hey, Golek. Hey, Drowsy Doll. Oh, thank you, everything included. Appreciate it. As it turns out, the guy was drunk, was at that little bar near the railroad tracks, and almost got hit by a train. And that's when he lost his phone. But that guy that I interviewed, Richard, I'd talk to him later. Mirror days. And that guy had saw him earlier in the day and said he'd lost his phone, was looking for it. So the cops were going to give it back to him. So that's good. No kidding, Ron. No kidding, huh? Yeah, probably. I don't know what being out at night, as long as you're doing social distancing, unless they're worried about looting or something. I mean, it's one thing keeping somebody inside when there's a risk, but I don't really understand a curfew all night long. Hey, Kimbers. What do they get them for a ticket there, Ronna? Do you know how much a ticket is? Oh, I don't blame them. I mean, I don't really understand it all through the night. I mean, you already got enough stuff locked down the day, and you can't even go out at night and walk around. Doesn't make any sense. Oh, no kidding. Stay-at-home order. Wow. We had that a year ago. But if you look around, there's loopholes in it. As long as you like, I don't socialize with anybody. When I go in a place, I wear a mask. And when I'm outside, I don't, because I'll walk the other way if I see somebody coming up to me. But when Michigan had that, they said you could do recreational activities. Well, photography is a recreational activity to me. And that's what I'm doing. So even if I'd have got a ticket, I think I'd have stood a pretty good chance getting out of it. But I wasn't being stupid about it. Going in places without a mask and socializing and that kind of thing. That's when I was doing all that driving up in the UP because nobody's up there. Yeah, it is a beautiful night. Daisy's having a good time. Yeah, and I mean, I do let her out throughout the day, but nothing's like this. So, she needs to get some exercise, and she really likes it here, and we don't need to worry about anything really. And so I stop here a lot. It's on my way back anyway. And this park is open till 10. The one across the street closes at dusk. Yeah, it's nice. This is at Willow Park. These are great parks. I mean, I've been coming here for my whole life. I even had yearly passes when I didn't live here just to support them. But I still got back. Even when I think I was gone from Michigan 15 years, different places. Atlanta, Florida, Chicago. But even when I lived in Chicago, I came back a lot, so I'd always bring my dogs. I've had like 4 or 5 sets of dogs that I used to bring here. Daisy's like my 5th, dog. Yeah, she really has a good time here. You don't need to worry about anything, and it works out well. I think those people are fishing over there. Hopefully they don't eat them and read the miniature sign. Yeah, she likes it. Hey, 6 Mile Mary, how you doing? Yeah, you'd really like Michigan. I want to get up, I mean, not to see those ugly windmill farms that they have straight east of Taos, Michigan. You can see them on the Canadian side. I can't believe that Canada did something like that. I mean, it just looks like shit. It looks like a big giant shipping terminal on a clear night from Michigan. That's like a pristine, nice area over there. It seems like something Michigan would do. Those things are so damn ugly. I'm doing fine. Hey, Bobby Joe. Yeah, I don't really like the thumb that much. There's not much to do over there. I mean, I've been there, but Caseville, stuff like that, but yeah, I never really had much interest in those areas. No, I'm in Michigan, about 20 miles west of Detroit. Another nice thing about coming here is it's easy to get to. It's not like you're going through a bunch of congested traffic. Yeah, West Side's all right. Yeah, she chases stuff. Check out Grand Rapids, Ohio. If you like the west side of the state, you would really like it. It's nice down there. Maumee's beautiful too. Hey, Shannon. Did you get my letter? Daisy, come on over here, hon. Daisy. Come on, hon. Come on, hon. Daisy, come on, hon. Yeah, Maumee is cool. I think you could probably get down there in about 2.5 hours. It's really nice, man. There's a lot of places like that. You know, they just don't. Come on, hon. Wow. 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 No, she would probably kill it. I used to have a pit bull when I was living down in Florida. That damn dog was so smart. Her name was Zora, a female pit bull. And she would find these snakes and she'd keep like snapping at them until they struck. And the minute they struck, in about a half a second, she'd duck under, get them right behind the head and the neck, shake them about 3 times and kill them. She used to do it all the time. Good. Daisy loves the cold weather. Feeling good tonight. Yeah, but that's a really cute little town. That whole area is nice. I'd never been to that Barnes & Noble in Maumee, to be honest with you. I didn't even know they had one. But that's a super nice mall. Really beautifully landscaped, and you're not that far from Grand Rapids. All those towns, Defiance, Bryant, Napoleon, those are all interesting towns. And the farmland in between the cities is just gorgeous. You are a good girl, hon. Wow. Yeah, wide open spaces. The farming seems to be doing a lot better down there in Ohio. You don't see all the barns falling over and a bunch of junk in the field like you do in Michigan. That may be because they own bigger tracts of land, and you know, there's a certain amount of land you have to make it work. If you're too small, you got to have another job. But if you're a certain size, you know, there's enough money to go around to maintain it. No, I've never been there before, Shelley. No. I remember going to Jack Miner's bird sanctuary, and I've been in. I went up to Thessalon a couple times. It's north of, it's east of Sault Ste. Marie on the Canadian side, Thessalon. I went with a neighbor kid one time, and then I went by myself in high school. And I've been to Toronto and all those places. And come on. But Ohio, you would really like it. It's funny, I don't know why. Maybe they don't want people down there, but it's really nice. And, you know, you never hear anything about Ohio. They just think it's like nothing. It's not true. It's beautiful. There's just so many trees blooming and flowers and people planting things and gorgeous farms. You'll find a lot of nice, really cool looking barns in great shape. these really elaborate roofs, and they're all nice and got a metal roof. Really look cool. And the little towns between the bigger ones are really nice. Yeah, Cleveland. I've been all over Cleveland. Good place. Love Cleveland. I've done a lot of photography there. You know, it's Cleveland kind of is, you know, a Rust Belt city like Detroit's in a lot of ways. If it wasn't for Cleveland Clinic, I mean, you probably never hear about it. I mean, Cleveland was nicer than Detroit at one time. Yeah, food was so-so. I kind of expected that, but I just didn't really. That place used to have roasted chicken, but it's a new owner now. That's kind of why I stopped. And when I got there and looked at the stuff, they didn't have roasted chicken. I thought, well, I'll get one of these. You know, even if you go to a Greek restaurant at most places now, you're going to get the same gyro the gas station does. It's not like the old days. There's a place in Ann Arbor, Parthenon, on Liberty and Main. They sold out for their liquor license about 10 years ago. And that was the last place I knew of that you could get homemade gyros. Really good. Where at in Ohio? I've probably been by it. Hey, Greg. But if you just want to take a nice day and really see some nice things, and it's really easy to get to. You can get on 275, 75, either way, cut over to 475. If you want to head west and avoid most of Toledo, just take 475, then head off, or 23, and take Highway 20 west. Ready to party, hon? Ready to party? Huh? Go bye-bye? Wow. What? 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 She wants to get out of here. She wants to go. You want to go bye-bye? All right, I'll take you bye-bye. I think Daisy's got attention deficit disorder. Go on, hon. Hey, don't like that. Yeah, she sure does. She's been that way since a little puppy. She will always let you know what she wants, one way or the other. I got good gas mileage today too. If I get 200 a half tank, I'm doing well on the first half. And today I got 256. Because I'm doing all those slow speeds and those back roads. Now I'm glad this park's open till 10, but it's even open till 10 in the winter, which I don't really know what anybody be doing back here at dark. I stop by here a lot when it's dark all year long, just to let Daisy run around. Yeah, right, yep. She will, you don't ever need to wonder what she wants. She'll get the point across one way or the other. Daisy's the kind of dog, if your house caught on fire, she'd wake you up. You know, you hear those stories. She wouldn't crawl under the bed and you'd both burn to death. She's smart about a lot of things. Yeah, it would be like impossible to replace her personality. I've had a lot of dogs, but nothing like this. There's a possum. Yeah, I got her. I saved her part of my gyro. Plus, I bought the big giant bag of her treats that I had back at the hotel. I picked up that book, another book about birds. I probably have 500 of them already, but this one, like, I breezed through it and had a couple of interesting tidbits in there about their nervous system, which the other books don't really talk about much. Yeah, everybody else got their stuff that I mailed on the same day. I think I mailed that last Tuesday. You should have got it by now. And it is slow mail, but you never know. Yeah, the mail's really terrible. Of course, yeah, well, no, I think you should have got it. Because I sent to Indiana and Michigan, of course. It's got there, but you're not that, you know, far. Boy, the cops are really out in Ohio. They're everywhere, man. I saw a state trooper burn a guy today out in the middle of nowhere. And I bet you that guy was just so shocked to see a state trooper. I don't know where the guy was hiding, but I saw him hiding everywhere today in small towns, the whole bit. Yeah, you're in Indiana too, so yeah. Hey, Jet Dude. Yeah, the mail sucks now. The mail that leaves Michigan goes to this, a lot of it goes to this sort facility down in Lincoln Park, which isn't too far from here. And they've had like crazy problems down there with help. You know, finding bags of mail and stuff, 6 months old, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's right. She's funny about people, Daisy. She doesn't really, people try and pet her, she'll snap at you most of the time. Not bite you like the old days, but she'll snap her jaws real hard right next to your hand. When I was staying down there in South Carolina, those people had three really friendly dogs, and I think it gave Daisy a nervous problem. These three dogs would push open the door and jump in bed with me in the morning, and normally that would never happen, and she just kind of put up with it, which was really kind of neat, but I know she didn't like it. There's deer. Look at all these deer. Now they just did a cull down here and everybody's pissed off about it. Yeah, I've read quite a bit on that. And if you're an animal lover, I mean, you learn a lot if you really research things. And if you have too many anything in an area, it ends up hurting. It's the herd mentality. And I learned that when I was on the board of the Humane Society, which I hated and only did for about 5 months. I was one of these no-kill guys. An old dog has a right to live just like a young dog. But the reality of it is you're not running a pet shop. You're running a dog pound that has cats sometimes. And when you're being funded and there are rules, what ends up happening, if you don't sink your funds and your space into what's adoptable, you probably ought to find another thing to be involved with, because it's just not reality. You'll get a guy like me in there that doesn't know shit, and you're going to tout yourself as a no-kill, and before you know it, half your cages are filled with dogs that are costing you a fortune, because it isn't like vets come in there and work for free. You may get a little break, but you got these old dogs, they got everything under the sun wrong with them. Nobody ever adopts them, but before you know it, you've got a zoo of pets that aren't adoptable that are breaking you. Just like YouTube, you realize what people say they like and what they really like. When you start seeing what people click on, you're seeing the numbers, the data, and you don't know what it is, you just know what people are clicking on. That's kind of like it is in the Humane Society. Everybody feels sorry for an older dog, but you know what? When it comes to adoption time, and you're straight about them with the medical problems that an animal has, they wish them well and give you an extra $5 and slide a milk bone under the cage and go and adopt a young one. It's just not reality. Now, I would do that, because I know better, but I'm telling you, and there are other people that do it too, but by and large, older pets, older cats, if they're not cute, they'll be there forever. Everybody loves them, wishes them well, but they don't want to adopt them. Yeah, fostering, man, it's you get attached to these animals, and really, when being on the board, you're not around the animals that much. It's just such bickering and bullshit. And if somebody gives you $5,000, I mean, they think that they own you. That's why I learned, part of the value I got in being on the Humane Society board was that I learned, be careful what you wish for. Because when you start out and you think YouTube, people want to give you donations. Before you know, because you didn't do what they wanted you to, just because they gave you $100. That's exactly why I don't want a non-profit. For that reason. Yeah, you'd know how she gives them up when she has to pay $3,500 in medical bills. Like I said, veterinarians, that's a business. And I'm not saying they never do something for nothing, but it's not, you're paying huge bills. A good idea is to stick a lot of the money into the screening, into the people that you give them to. Now, after a while, we started making it a mandatory 20 extra bucks to have a chip in it. And you know why? It's not why you think. The reason we wanted a chip in them is because of these people that pass the background check, pass the home inspection, then a month later somebody finds that dog wandering around 20 miles away because the people just let it out and didn't know it was missing and that kind of things. So a big part of the chip is to identify who was a shitty foster parent or adoptee, and to make sure you never let them get another dog out of there again. Hey, XX. Yeah, my van is full. I've been driving around this whole trip with it. Yeah, it's dead down there. And like I said before, I'm not going to spend all day driving around like I used to. I did that 2 months last year, which is why back in August I tried to get people to deal with whoever themselves. Hey, Ken. Hey, Jeff. I don't mind doing it, but it's just too time consuming. And I'll tell you, crime is through the roof in Detroit, so is COVID. Seriously, you just Google Detroit crime. That's because they know the cops aren't going to show up when somebody calls them. And COVID's through the damn roof. So between not finding them, COVID, and crime worse than ever, shit, what would you want to do? Go out and photograph farms all day long, or risk your life driving around for 10 hours and not handing out a single thing? I know other people that do things, that work for other agencies. Shit, they're coming back with back seat full of lunches. They didn't have anybody they could hand them out to. And like an example, like Sherry, somebody found that she got arrested in Oakland County, which is the next county north of Wayne County, Detroit. So I don't know what she was doing up there, what the circumstances are, or what, but no one, it makes sense that she's not around. And Michigan Avenue is totally dead. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's true, yeah. And I do know some people have found a way to get stimulus money. And like honestly, Maddie and Churro, I may have something from them. That stuff's been back there forever. And I had it a long time before I even packed it up and left. So, I packed it in hoping that I would be giving it out for who I normally would run into. It just hasn't worked out. So, that was a long time ago. I got a lot of that stuff. So don't be pissed if, I find a box or an envelope. I got it all organized. It's just, I put it in. There's a method to the madness. But if I give a box like, hey, I mailed that to you in October. Well, my answer to that is, first of all, I told people don't be sending me anything starting in August. So I don't want to be a jerk about it. And maybe somebody didn't know that that's what I was doing. So there's not a worse feeling in the world than to send some guy something that you want him to hand out, and you found out that he hasn't done it. Well, I tried to let people know regularly, get people's email, their mailing address, whatever, and they still send stuff. I was getting stuff in January. Yeah, it's not that I mind, but it just got to where I didn't have any time to do anything. Here's the main thing that I didn't like about it is all the time. I spent all of August down there and all of October. 2 months. You're talking I'm not bitching. $6,000 probably. $5,000 for expenses. And I hardly gave out anything because I didn't run into these people. I don't want to have somebody send me something and then get pissed and say, hey, I looked, I couldn't find him, I'm giving this to Goodwill. So, that's why I still have it. But I don't want anything shipped to me if possible. And a lot of times, if you haven't been around, there's a lot of things these women get regularly, like hygiene products, rubbers, things like that, by a bunch of different places. But somebody that, just thinks they're out there, they assume that they don't have access to this stuff, but that's not true. Now, for a while there, I think food was a little difficult because, the kitchens and the churches were closing down, but I don't think that's much of a problem anymore. But like I said, I haven't seen anybody, so I don't really know. I'm really kind of out of touch down there, to be honest with you. It looks like Kim, Amber's mother, is on the right track. I haven't heard from her in about a week. I haven't heard from Tassie, which is always good news. And I haven't heard from Becky in a long time. I don't bother these people. It's not my business. You give them a few things, you help them out a little bit, and all of a sudden you're demanding to know what they're doing. It's not my business what they do. And I just feel like I don't want to be giving updates on people for strangers to know what they're up to. You know what I mean? It's just and I just like with Kim, and she's doing better and stuff. I mean, there's a point where, you're hoping that they're gonna get on the right track and you help them out a little bit, but there's a point where I just don't feel like talking about everything like, you know, uh, yeah, here's Kim, here's her new apartment, here's her new hairdo. I mean, I just lost feeling comfortable at a certain point. The only reason I videotaped a lot of the stuff was because I was accounting for what people sent and that I was chilly. Probably not. But I just feel better when everybody knows what they sent and who it really went to. Now, I was thinking about this the other day. What do you guys think about this? Like, you cross paths with people, it's interesting, wish them well, but I don't try and worm my way into anybody's business, you know, and be part of their family. And here's a perfect example. Raven. Like, I kept in touch with her family. Once in a while, I'll hear from one of the sisters. But I got thinking about, they were looking for money for a headstone for a while because they couldn't afford it, I guess. And I was just thinking, I was kind of thinking maybe I ought to just buy a headstone and pay for it and let the family stick it over there and not say anything. But if it was my family and some do-gooder out there that I really didn't know very well was like buying headstones for my family, that gets a little into the weird area for me. If I could just say, hey, I'll buy one and just stick it on there and let's just... Look, I don't care about it. You could throw me, I hope they throw me to a great white shark, anything, rats, whatever. I think the whole headstone, buried thing, funerals, a bunch of horse shit, doesn't interest me. So I would be fine without that. But I'm thinking in terms of people that means something to. I mean, I'm pretty certain that Raven's not going to know about it. But if it makes him feel better, and I guess I just feel like that's not a bad thing to do, and it's not worth 5 people feeling bad because their relative doesn't have a headstone. Like, I know how other people think, but to me it wouldn't bother. So I've been thinking about this lately just because really Raven was a unique experience, and I'm really glad that I met her. I wish things would have worked out better. I don't feel too bad about it because I had a feeling that it was not going to be a happy ending. I just didn't know when. I mean, I pitched her more than once about getting the hell out of there, and man, there's a certain point where people you just get down the hole like that, and it's too daunting to want to start over. It sucks, I know, it really is bad. But if I dwelled on it, I would go crazy, and luckily I don't. But I do think of it from time to time. One thing I know for certain, though, 100% for sure, I believe this 100%, and that Raven was, she knew I was straight with her, and there was no bullshit, and there was no plan B. And I'm not a touchy-feely hugging guy, but honestly, it sounds stupid, but a hug from Raven meant something. Yeah, just, you could see. And here's another thing I was thinking about. One nice thing about taking these long country drives, now you're not going to be like you're in Glacier National Park. Everybody knows that. But here's something to think about on going down to Ohio, like where I've been the last couple days. And that is that you get a lot of time to think about a lot of things while you're driving. No traffic, beautiful, nice looking, nobody, nothing to worry about. You think about a lot of things like that, you know? And that's nice. You're going through Atlanta or Memphis or Cincinnati, you're not thinking about anything except not getting in an accident. So it's much different. It's beautiful to just pull over, get a coffee, uh, be in a new place, and just sit there and think about things that you normally wouldn't take the time to do. Yeah, like a new perspective. You just think about things, you know. Yeah, it's not, they're not, I don't like get depressed about it, but I know I could if I dwelled on it. Thank God. I mean, I dwell on a lot of shit. Thankfully, that isn't one of them. And I think I don't because, you know, there's nothing I can do for sure. And I didn't think there was anything I could do before that happened. I mean, I tried, but that's why, you know, you give people a couple nice little things, treat them nice. I don't really think that I do much. Just be nice to them for a few minutes, but it isn't any like great benevolent act that, you know, is going to cancel out 1,000 hours of porn that I've watched. Yeah, it is a crazy time. The world is crazy. It really is. I know this sounds crazy. It does. People, my doctor buddy always bugging me to get this damn COVID shot. And like I don't say it like to like. I'll say it, and if I get too much of a reaction, I'll just say I was just shitting you. But the truth of it is, I think sometimes I live too long already. Especially when you see all this bullshit going on. People can't even have a house to live in. This COVID, and no jobs, and college is 100 grand for a basket weaving degree. The fuck do I want to get a COVID shot so I can live for another 20 years? I mean, that sounds like crazy thinking, but I'm not shitting you. I think that way sometimes. I already got a plan B for Daisy. If somebody is a really good people taker, I do think that way sometimes. Like, man, if I get it, I get it. But I'm not like, you know, some guy that just loves life and I'm 25 and I think it's going to be one big Cedar Point ride till the day I die. Shit, in a lot of ways, I feel like I'm surprised I made it this long. And besides, I got a pretty good idea what these next 15 or 20 years are going to be like. And it isn't going to be like all those milestones, your first house, first sex, getting a college degree, getting your pilot's license. When you're doing all that shit, you're thinking, wow, life is so great. Well, I could take 10 million people my age and show you what their life was like at this age until it ended. And it isn't like I'm missing out on a non-stop party. I don't even read the papers anymore. I hardly watch the news. Every goddamn time you turn it on, it's somebody getting shot or a fucking kook blowing up someplace. I don't even read those stories anymore. And it used to be like now you look at that M Live. You click on there now, it used to be like, well, you're kind of expecting that certain places. That's all you hear is murders and craziness. Now it's Ann Arbor, Kalamazoo, West Bloomfield. It's like everywhere. No, up here, not here, but if anybody drives Michigan Avenue from Merrimon East going towards Telegraph, I don't know this for sure, but a lot of times these small communities will get a federal grant to work traffic. So what that means is they'll get the salaries for a couple cops to just work traffic in an area where they've had a lot of accidents. And because, my whole life I've driven through Inkster, and I bet I haven't seen cops pull people over, 20 times, and they're pulled over all the time now. I'm not sure where they're sitting, but there's a guy in a Crown Victoria writing tickets left and right. Yeah, anybody you say anything to now, I'm glad I'm not starting out. Like, here's the mystery I got. Does anybody have an answer for this out there? Would you tell me how young couples are affording houses now? Does anybody know this? There was an article on the news a couple weeks ago that to be in a suburb around Detroit, it was hard to get anything decent for under 300 grand. While, the economy is in the tank. There's people going around buying these houses all over and paying more than they were listed for. Even people in real estate don't know, so I don't know how anybody on here would know. I just don't know how they swing these mortgages. Or maybe you could swing the mortgage, but how do you have money for anything else? Like insurance, gas, a car. So here's where the ticket writing starts. It's only 40 here too. Yeah, I got gas. Actually, if you're around Dearborn, you can get gas at Kroger's for $2.61. It's the cheapest I've seen it everywhere. Usually, it's cheaper in Toledo, but that hasn't been. I saw gas for $2.90 in Toledo today. This Toledo suburbs, actually, Sylvania, places west. I just don't get it. What even surprises me more is banks don't lend money like they used to. If you didn't, before, if you didn't have 20% down and good credit, you could forget it. And most of the people that were young that were starting out, you had an uncle that, or your parents would give you. I never had any of that shit. I remember thinking in my mid-20s, how am I ever going to afford a home? Because I like going on vacation and, having nice stuff. And it seemed like the only people that were buying houses in 23 or 4, a couple years out of college, were people that all they did was save. Well, I'm not one of those. It just doesn't jive well with ADHD. I mean, I know people. My dad was like that. He was the cheapest son of a bitch that ever lived. I know people like that. They'd be a janitor their whole life, and they end up leaving $3 million to the school they cleaned classrooms for 35 years. That's not going to be me. Splitting a peanut butter sandwich with their twin, never buying a car, forget all that. No way. There's the Mona Lisa. Yeah, well, I've been down there. Where is everybody, by the way? Even the mail stuff now, it's ridiculous what it costs to send a package someplace. And to eat out's expensive. you look around when you go to a restaurant, you don't see like the old days, Sunday breakfast, people went to church. It's because they don't have $125 for 5 omelets. I can see a couple restaurants. At California Pizza Kitchen, which I love, they just came out of bankruptcy. It was Chapter 11 now. Reorganized some debt. But their prices are so high now. $29 at a California Pizza Kitchen for a ribeye. It's just getting to where, with the middle class disappearing, their prices have gotten so high and everything. I just don't see how the average Joe is going to help keep them in business. Even their pizzas are a lot. Yeah, my mom died when I was young. I don't miss my parents at all. No, it's expensive, man. These hotels and motels up and down this strip look like 1960. See, here's gas right here. Around these stations, though, they nail you an extra dime if you don't pay cash. It's not like that in a lot of other places. Hey, Samka. I hate to say it, but $15 really isn't a livable wage if you pay tax. And another thing too is rent is so crazy now. Yeah, I'm at my hotel. Yep. Yeah, I stay at these things so much, it's ridiculous. Well, I'm going to sign off, you guys. So you guys have a good day tomorrow. And Daisy knows. She knows where we're at. You want your treat, honey? Want your treat? All right, go on. Go on. You want your treat? All right, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. Yeah, we're here, hon. We're here. We're here. I know. We're here. We're home, honey. We're home. You want the treat? She wants a treat. All right, good. All right, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. All right, good night, you guys. Have a good night. Hope you have a good day tomorrow. Take it easy. Good night, JP. See you, Greg. Bye, John. I'm gonna get it to you. I'm gonna get it for you, hon. See you, Jet Dude. See you, Carla. You're gonna get it, honey. See you, Claire. You're gonna get it, hon. See you, Drowsy. Good night, Neff. See you, Rana. Debbie and Dave. Bye, Lana. Put some of that cream on.